Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at something fascinating. What happens when the most brilliant minds in chess are pushed to their breaking point?
Okay, let's just start with this quote from Grandmaster Peter Svidler, because it perfectly sums up the absolute chaos of round 2 at the Sinquefield Cup. See, at this elite level, it's not always about finding the perfect, quiet move. Sometimes it's about creating a problem so complicated, so messy, that your opponent just cracks.
And you've got to remember the context here. This is the big one. It's the final classical event of the Grand Chess Tour. The pressure is just immense, and these players are being pushed to their absolute mental and emotional limits.
Yeah, and with a $350,000 prize fund on the line, every single move feels like it's under a microscope. Every decision could be the one that wins or loses a championship. There is absolutely zero room for error, and yet, as we're about to see, it's the errors that make these games so unforgettable.
This really gets to the core of what we're talking about today. It's this incredible tension, right? On one side, you have players with flawless preparation who've memorized thousands of opening lines. But on the other, you have the messy, unpredictable reality of a real game. It's a constant tug-of-war between the perfect plan and pure chaos.
So let's first look at what happens when the plan works. When that deep preparation really pays off and creates this kind of fortress of stability for the world's best.
Take this game, Wesley So versus Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, or MVL. It's a fascinating matchup. MVL is a specialist in a particular defense, the Grunfeld. He basically tells Wesley So, I'm going to play this line I've played a dozen times before. I dare you to find a hole in it.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's admirable because of the sheer confidence, but it's also a little foolhardy. He's trusting his memory and his analysis so completely that he's inviting the entire world to try and poke holes in his game. That takes guts.
And what was the result? A perfect theoretical draw. It's one side of elite chess, absolute perfection. It wasn't a street fight. It was more like a beautiful choreographed dance where both players knew all the steps, a masterpiece of memory.
And we saw this with another top player, Fabiano Caruana. In his game, he felt things were getting a little tricky, a little bit uncomfortable. So what did his preparation give him? A safety net. He played a calculated pawn sacrifice that he knew would lead to a safe, comfortable draw.
And this idea of a pawn sacrifice or a gambit is so important. It's not a blunder. It's a strategic investment. You're giving up a little bit of material now to get something much more valuable later on, like control, or in Fabiano's case, just peace of mind. It's the perfect example of preparation giving you an escape hatch.
Okay, so that's what happens when everything goes right. But what about when that fortress of preparation just completely crumbles? Well, that brings us to the most dramatic game of the round and the other side of this razor's edge.
I mean, you can't overstate the mental gymnastics these players perform. We're talking about memorizing thousands of lines, some of them 30, even 40 moves deep. It's like a concert pianist memorizing a symphony. One wrong note and the whole thing can fall apart.
And that is the terrifying question that faced the defending champion, Alireza Firouzja. He sat down to play against Jan-Christoph Duda, expecting to follow a line he had prepared perfectly. But then, something went horribly, horribly wrong.
And this timeline just makes the pressure feel so real. Look at this. On move 17, he's fine. He actually has more time than he started with. Then on move 18, disaster strikes. He realizes he's mixed something up. By move 21, he's burned almost all of his time just trying to figure out the mess he created in his own head.
This says it all. Forgetting your files, your prep, it's a player's worst nightmare. We're talking about a single move, one tiny slip-up, in a long sequence, and suddenly your entire position, your entire strategy just collapses. And that is exactly what happened here.
So now what? Firouzja is in a lost position. His clock is ticking down to nothing. The search for perfection is over. He has to throw out the rulebook and try something completely different.
Let's be clear. He was completely, objectively losing. The computer engine said his opponent had a massive winning advantage. He had no time to think. For 99% of players, the game is over.
But Alireza had one weapon left in his arsenal: chaos. He stopped trying to find the best defensive moves. Instead, he just started creating problems. He threw threats at his opponent, complicated the position, and basically created what the commentators called an almighty mess.
And this chart, wow, it tells the whole story. Look at that swing. Duda is cruising with a huge advantage. But then, faced with this messy, chaotic board, and under all that psychological pressure, he blundered. He cracked.
And that's the real lesson here. This is what practical human chess is all about. Sometimes creating a mess that your opponent can't solve is way more effective than playing the perfect computer move. Firouzja wasn't just playing the board anymore. He was playing the man sitting across from him.
And here it is, the exact moment it all flipped. Duda plays rook d8. To a human, it looks like a safe, solid move, but it was a fatal mistake. Firouzja's response, queen h5, unleashes a devastating and unstoppable attack. Just like that, he snatched an impossible victory from the jaws of defeat.
So when you step back and look at this whole round, what does it really teach us? It's just a fantastic look into the psychology of what it takes to compete at the very highest level. Well, for one, it shows that elite chess is as much a battle of nerves as it is about pure intellect. It shows that your perfect plan can be shattered in an instant by one tiny memory lapse. But most importantly, it shows that being able to not just survive, but thrive in chaos is an incredible weapon. In the end, the winner isn't always the one with the better position. It's the one who makes the second-to-last mistake.
And really, that's the question this whole round leaves us with. In a sport built on logic and calculation, what's more important, a perfect memory or unbreakable nerves? This round shows us it's the thrilling, unpredictable, and deeply human drama that makes this game so absolutely compelling to watch.